Chapter 1 of Blackie, a Lost Cat. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Blackie, a Lost Cat by Richard Barnum. Chapter 1. Blackie Hears Something. Blackie was a cat. Now that I have told you this much, I think you can guess why that was her name. It was because she was as black as a coal, or a bit of tar from the barrel which stood on the street when the men were fixing the roof. Blackie did not have so much as a speck or a single hair of white in her glossy coat of fur, and on a dark night if you were to look for Blackie I think you would not have found her, for she looked just like a bit of the dark itself. When you first looked at Blackie you might have thought she was just like other cats, but she was not. She was a very smart cat, and so many things happened to her, and she had so many adventures that I am going to tell you about them. Once upon a time, not so very many years ago, Blackie lived in a fine large house with a little boy and girl named Arthur and Mabel. Of course the papa and mamma of Arthur and Mabel lived in the house too, but as the children were the ones who played with Blackie and looked after her, giving her milk and good things to eat, it seems best to say that Blackie lived with them. "Now it's your turn to feed Blackie," Mabel would call to her brother. "All right," Arthur would answer. "I'll get her the milk right away." The children never had to be told twice to look after their pet cat, for they loved Blackie very much. Though the children's father or mother often had to tell them twice, or perhaps even 3 times, to go to the store or run an errand, just one telling was enough when it was about Blackie. "I certainly have a good home here," thought the black cat, "and Arthur and Mabel are very kind to me. Yes, I certainly am a lucky cat." Of course Blackie did not say this out loud, for neither cats, nor dogs, nor other animals can speak as we do. But they can make noises, such as mewing or barking, and I think that is, for them, talking in their own way, just as much as we talk in ours. And cats and other animals think, too, I believe. Else how would they know enough to come to the same place many times to be fed? Or how would they know how to find their way home when they have gone far off? Of course cats and dogs often get lost, for they may go so far that they cannot find the way back again. So you might say from that, I suppose, that cats can't think. But then did you never get lost? Yes, I'm sure you must have at least once. And you can think, I know, but you could not find your way home alone. I know cats and dogs think, and that they can talk to one another too in their own language. So it isn't at all strange that Blackie should think about what a good home she had, and how kind the little boy and girl were to her. "Now, Blackie," said Mabel one day, as she got ready for school, "be a good cat today, and don't run off." "Put the red ribbon with the bell around her neck," said Arthur, as he gathered up his schoolbooks. "Then if Blackie goes away we can listen for the bell and find her." "Oh yes, that's what I'll do," said Mabel. "Here, Blackie," called the little girl, "come and have your ribbon put on." There was a pretty red ribbon for Blackie's neck, and it always looked nice on the cat, because black and red seem to go well together. I think they match, as the ladies say, though I don't know much about such things. I know when a team of horses match and go well together, and when 2 dogs or 2 cats are well matched, but I'm afraid I can't tell much about ribbons and such things matching. Anyhow, a lady told me black and red matched, or went well together, and I guess she is right. And I know that the red ribbon looked very pretty on Blackie's neck, for I saw it there myself. "There!" exclaimed Mabel, as she tied the ribbon into a pretty bow. "Now you won't get lost, Blackie, and when I come home from school I'll find you here." Blackie lifted one velvety paw and shook her head. This made the little brass bell tinkle. "You can hear that a good way off," said Arthur. "When I come home from school I'm going to try to teach Blackie the trick of standing in the corner." "She can do one trick now," said Mabel. "She can jump through my hands when I hold them in front of her like a hoop." "Can she?" asked Arthur. "Let's see her do it." "Children, don't be late for school," called their mother from the dining room. "No, we won't, Mother," answered Mabel. "I am just going to have Blackie do one trick. Come here, Blackie." Blackie always came when the little boy or girl called her, for the black cat knew she would be petted, or given something nice to eat each time. This time Mabel stroked Blackie's soft fur, and then put the cat down in front of her, behind her arms which she held in a round ring. "Jump through, Blackie," called Mabel, and Blackie did. "See," said the little girl to her brother. "Didn't Blackie do that trick nicely?" "She surely did," exclaimed Arthur. "And when I come home from school I'll teach her to stand on her hind legs in a corner." "Come now, children, run along," called the mother, and Arthur and Mabel, having each patted Blackie once more, hurried off to school. "Well, I think now I will go and take a little sleep."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?